Alright, y'all, we back with another UK video. And this one, I know it's going to piss me off. Because it's been a few pissing me off in a good way. Not in a bad way.
I love to piss us off.
Because it's just been facts on facts on facts. So this one
been on sad.
It's our foods that are banned in the UK.
I'm probably going to save this video in my phone and never buy anything that's on this video. But I do know Skittles is one.
Oh, yeah, I know
Skittles.
I do know about
Skittles
Skittles.
That's about it that I know. Skittles.
About to find out. We about to find out.
I'm so nervous.
What if it's something we recently ate?
Oh, I'm going to sorry cry.
Most Americans want to believe that the United States is the gold standard of clean food. But that belief may not hold up to scrutiny.
What is that?
From unsanitary practices in mass production to the addition of dangerous chemicals, countries have good reason to give the side eye to imported foods claiming to be USDA approved. That's right. This week we're talking about American foods that have been banned by other countries. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History Food channel.
Make sure you subscribe.
Then leave a comment and tell us what other world food facts you would like to know more about. Now let's see how wrong the rest of the world really is.
Okay. I don't eat Skittles, so I'm good.
I don't either.
Since the dawn of Skittles, there have been rumors about the dangers of eating them. Every one of
I think, I hope I'm right. I think it's because of the dye.
I would think that's what it tastes like, is dye.
Yeah. So
even as a kid, I've never been a
heard
Skittles
at
fan.
least one classmate claimed that the red ones make you sterile, and the yellow ones, they give you cancer. Turns out, it might be worse than that. First of all, your classmate wasn't wrong. The dyes known as Yellow 5 and Yellow 6 have been linked to hives and hyperactivity in children.
But sugar.
Sweden and Norway have banned the candies out of concern. The European Union will most likely be banning Skittles at the end of the year, having already swapped out some of the dye for more natural flavors. This is because of something called titanium dioxide, which can be found making the colors pop across the rainbow. Research linked titanium dioxide to damaged DNA, which can lead to cancer. While Europe may be ahead of the Skittles awareness curve, America is quickly catching up.
Why does titanium oxide just sound
horrible? It sounds like it's supposed to go in like a car or something.
It don't sound like anything that you should be eating. Hey, you know you about to present that titanium dioxide in your body.
And look at their Skittles right there on your desk.
But those are like collector ones. Those are old. Them like 5 years old. For those who know what Dia's talking about, I have a Supreme
Skittles
when they made them, and they literally came because Supreme like sponsored them. That's the only reason I got them. And they're like 5 years old. Nobody's eating those. They're dusty.
Skittles are definitely one. And I knew it was because of the dye. I didn't know it was. I thought it was like all the dyes.
I guess I can show y'all one.
They're so dusty.
Yeah. So this is what Dia's talking about, y'all.
Look how dusty it is.
Supreme collab with them, and that's what we got them.
It's really bright, but there's so much dust on there, so the color just doesn't look good.
That's all it was. They wasn't like, I'm about to eat them or nothing.
In May of 2021, the Environmental Working Group asked the FDA to categorize titanium dioxide as toxic. And yes, before you ask, right now the FDA says it's okay to consume some of that chemical compound. You can taste the rainbow, but just in moderation.
You think about that in moderation, some. But there's kids who, like, when you go to a party or Halloween, for example, you get so much Skittles. It's like, what is considered moderation, you know? Like, if you're constantly eating them, like a handful, that's a lot. If you really get a handful of Skittles, that's a lot of Skittles.
It is.
And 9 times out of 10, a pack, someone is eating that in one setting. So my thing is, what is considered too much of
even
that?
As a kid in the store, like, I was never like, let me get some Skittles. Like, it never attracted me. I was like, let me get some Skittles.
I will not lie. I always liked the peanut M&Ms. I don't know if those are bad or not, but those were my like M&Ms. Colorful thing.
I don't even care for M&Ms.
I like the peanut ones.
I just don't care for the outside like that. It's just weird.
California is home to an ongoing lawsuit against Mars Inc., the parent company of Skittles. The lawsuit claims Skittles are not only toxic, but are unfit for human consumption.
I bet they are.
So maybe for now, play it safe. Just go have some Swedish fish instead.
Oh, those are my favorite. I love Swedish fish.
Not bread.
Bread?
Ever looked at a piece of crusty French baguette, be it in cartoon or in real life? But let's be honest, it was probably in the hands of Pepe Le Pew, and think, I can't make a sandwich with that. As great as we talk about the invention of sliced bread, a lot of European countries have actually banned much of what you'd find on America's wide grocer shelves.
What?
That's because we make a lot of our bread not just with grain, but with a variety snap packs worth of additives. like azodicarbonamide, for example, which helps bleach flour and strengthen dough. Fun fact about azodicarbonamide, it's also used in a spectrum of industrial products, including yoga mats. Downward dogs.
Oh, so we just out here eating yoga mats. I just had a yoga mat the other day. I had a sandwich and chips. I had a yoga mat.
Okay, but is it because of it's not because it's like in a sense in a factory? Like, what if we make it homemade? Because
yeah, if you make it homemade, you're not gonna put that crap in.
But I'm just saying, a lot of people that I've seen are starting to make their own bread at home, and it looks pretty easy. It does look easy.
Everything looks easy when somebody else does it.
I know. I want to try it, but I don't know. I'm nervous. They do have bread makers, though.
I've seen them.
The European Union is really against the idea of its citizens eating yoga mat material and has banned their use in food products. Pork, the other white meat, is a staple of American meats, along with chicken, fish, and beef. From bacon to ham, hot dogs to pork chops. American meat eaters consume about 60...
Don't come for me. But I didn't know hot dogs were pork.
It's a whole bunch of stuff in put in a thing. I buy beef ones, so I wouldn't know nothing about them.
Oh.
7 pounds of pig per person every year. Soo-wee, my heart is stopping.
That's a lot, though, in one sandwich.
Don't get us wrong. Other nations indulge in swine just as much, if not more, than Americans. So why doesn't the U.S. export scores of succulent bacon-bearing boars? Well, it turns out America adds a lot of chemicals during processing. Ractopamine in particular is used in many pig farms to raise porkier porkers. Ractopamine, which we put a dash of in a lot of foods, has been banned in 160 countries, which all consider the drug unsafe for human consumption. This in turn has led to a prohibition of pork exports across the world. The EU hasn't touched the stuff since outlawing ractopamine in 2009. China and Russia have been ractopamine-less since 2013.
Yeah,
maybe that's because ractopamine has the same effects as an intoxicant on humans and can cause tachycardia, headaches, and muscle spasms if consumed in large enough quantities. But it is a small price to pay for a perfect piece of the pork.
Okay. 2 things. 1, that's so crazy because I ate one time, like, I'm not really big on like pork in general, but I do love some pork. My mom, she makes a good bed meat. But anyways, so one time I ate a whole bag of chicharrones, and oh my god, I had the nastiest headache, and I couldn't, for the life of me, I could not think, why do I have a nasty headache? And I told him, and he was just like, did you eat the whole bag? I was like, yeah. He's like, babe, that's bad. Like, that's why. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, the sodium intake on that.
I did not know. They were so good. Second, he said it's banned in other places, but pork belly, people eat pork belly, you know? So it's like, that's still pork. But also, I think, like he said, eating in moderation. If you're eating 2 slices of bacon every other day or something like that, I think that should be fine, right? But then again, it's just like if you're eating pork chops all the time, ham all the time, and all that stuff. So it's like I can see why pork can be bad. I can see that. But chicken, I don't know how to feel about chicken. I love chicken.
Probably just how it's made, and I'm pretty sure what they do.
Hygiene in America often comes down to dousing stuff in a chlorine bath and calling it FDA approved.
She's smiling.
And chicken is no exception. Pathogen reduction treatments, or PRTs, refer to the use of different chemicals to destroy harmful microbes on raw meat. Somewhere along the line, American food regulators decided a quick chlorine shock was the best way to kill salmonella and other bacteria on uncooked poultry.
That burns your eyes.
Chlorine marinade.
Ooh.
And look, it's not that the EU is against taking a long gulp from the public pool now and then. In fact, the risks posed by chlorine consumption are relatively low. The bigger concern is that the chlorine baths are just an eye-burning Band-Aid on a larger problem. The tip of the beak, so to speak. They're worried that the PRTs are insufficient to deal with more than just the normal bacteria and don't get at a potential contamination from things like low-quality feed to unsanitary coops on farms. The EU called the chlorine rinse an easy fix, arguing no chemical rinse will ever remove all bacteria from meat heavily contaminated as a result of poor hygiene. That hurts extra to hear it from the French.
Okay, but is that if you buy it from a factory like Walmart, like not a factory like that, but if it comes from a factory like Walmart or something like that? Or is it just any type of chicken?
Yeah, I think
so even if you buy it from like a butcher or something, that chicken's getting cleaned like that?
It depends on who he's getting it from, because he still has to get it from a farmer.
So the farmer could potentially still be cleaning.
Yeah, there's farmers who
chlorine.
don't have it. Like there's some farmers that's like natural everything, and you're gonna pay more money for it.
We need to find that. We need to find that
we gonna
because
pay-
chlorine. Oh my god, that just.
But I'm saying it's like when you shop in organic, you're
Is
gonna.
it organic?
It ain't. I can tell you that right now. I used to work at pest control. I'm not gonna disclose what company I work for, but I used to work at pest control. We used to do organic farms, and let me tell you, organic product does not work. It don't. It's peppermint oil, like certain stuff. It don't keep the bugs away. It's really a deterrent. It's a deterrent to try to keep them away. But there was so many times that I did organic farms, and we had to switch to regular product because there was no keeping the bugs away with that organic product we had. Because it was just natural spray that wasn't killing nothing. So eventually we had to say, if you want us to get rid of these bugs, you gonna have to let us spray. All right, do it. That's why I'm so big on organic stuff in the store. When we look at, I'm not paying an extra $4 for an avocado. I know what they doing. They're not spraying organic. Y'all think y'all getting organic pesticide? Okay, okay.
Mountain Dew, can't stand Mountain Dew. I don't like Mountain Dew, so that's. Wait.
Mountain Dew.
But I remember in school there was like a rumor saying that it like makes you. What did it say? I think they said like
The guy's pee-pee don't go.
Or I thought it was kills your sperm count.
Ours was pee-pee. You don't have a small pee-pee.
Oh, I heard it was like it kills your sperm.
Maybe that's probably was a joke. I was scarred from life from that. I never drank Mountain Dew. Ever since they told me that, I never touched Mountain Dew.
You drink Mountain Dew now though.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Woman, when do I order Mountain Dew?
You have a can the other day.
I didn't buy that. My neighbor brought it. Like, you act like I don't go buy Mountain. You've never seen me. Let me get a Mountain Dew. Like, if my neighbor gonna bring it, yeah, I'm gonna drink it. If it's free, now you ain't gonna just catch me. And I ain't gotta worry about it now. I'm grown. I ain't gotta worry about nothing being small now. I might lose a little.
Is the closest any soft drink has come to being fully weaponized. But did you know in Austria and Norway, the soda is outright banned?
Damn.
That's because Mountain Dew's signature Chernobyl radiant hue comes from tartrazine, also known as yellow 5.
Okay.
And if your ADHD hasn't kicked in yet, you'll remember that color and number from the Skittles section earlier. It's been linked to headaches, hyperactivity, and the desire to be annoying to other people.
Annoying.
And see, for me, I always thought like with Skittles, like hyperactives, I'm thinking because there's sugar in there. So, you know, they always say sugar makes you, but it's actually, wow,
I need to read my products to these kids.
Ironically, the qualities that make Mountain Dew a soda non gratis in other countries is exactly what the brand promotes. A frenetic, over-caffeinated lifestyle. Do the Dew. Baja Blast.
Oh, that is a Baja Blast.
And while you might be able to find Mountain Dew in Europe, it's going to hit a little different. That's because Europe spent exactly 2 years in the 90s riding the Dew before discontinuing it. What is being sold as Mountain Dew in the EU has a recipe closer to the original carbonated beverage, as created by Tennessee beverage bottlers Barney and Ollie Hartman in the 1940s. The original Mountain Dew was meant as a whiskey mixer, with the name coming from the affectionate Scottish term for moonshine. It'll tickle your innards, is what the old ads used to read. No lies detected here.
Yahoo! Mountain Dew!
So does that mean that if you drink whiskey, like put some Mountain Dew in it, it might taste better?
Well, I don't think with the new stuff they mixing now. I probably the old Mountain Dew that they made, not the new crap they got.
That's crazy.
I wonder what they got. That's similar to like a pickleback. I wonder is this where it started? Because if you think about a Mountain Dew and then a pickle juice, it's like some similarities there.
I don't know. Oh, Lil Debbie. But one thing I will say about Lil Debbie, she's not the same. But like when we grew up on her,
They changed her.
Yeah, like back then, Lil Debbie was yum. Now it's like it just doesn't taste the same. So I don't know.
Little Debbie has been providing Americans with comfort snack food since the 1960s, with their variety of zebra cakes, star crunches, nutty bars, fudge rounds, and cosmic brownies. But their big claim to fame, as anyone who has ever had their lunch packed by a parent can attest, is the Little Debbie Swiss Rolls,
I never ate those.
a mixture of rich chocolate cake
Really? I
and
never ate
butter
those.
creamy filling. Over 900 million cartons of Little Debbie products are shipped each year, but none of those cartons go anywhere near Austria or Norway. Blame those rascally additives, yellow 5 and red 40.
What?
Swiss rolls contain 32 milligrams of dye per product, and in those quantities, they've been shown to have an adverse effect on children. And we're not just talking about causing hyperactivity, although one study found that cutting all
I thought dyes were to dye candies to make them bright colored, like, you know, red, yellow,
They
blue.
just adding stuff in there.
Why would it go in something dark, like brown or like blackish brown? Like that doesn't need color. Like what?
They just doing
I
it.
never knew that.
Artificial food coloring from diets may be one half as effective as prescribing kids Ritalin. And while we can't prove there's a direct connection between artificial food coloring and cancer, they do cause damage to white blood cells, causing them to mutate after only 3 hours. Exposure to these dyes could cause tumor cells to multiply way more rapidly. For that reason, researchers say a high chronic intake of food colorings throughout the entire life is not advisable. If only they weren't so delicious. Surprisingly, you can buy Little Debbie's Swiss rolls in the EU, but they come with warning labels advising parents of the potential dangers to kids.
They're not playing.
You know, like cigarettes.
That's crazy.
Special K.
I don't even think I've ever even had special K.
When you hear the words banned breakfast cereal, you're probably imagining one of the countless kid-focused brands of sugary morsels, like the oh-so-delicious Cookie Crisp.
Nasty.
So you might be surprised to learn that it's actually Special K, the most boring cereal on all of the earth, that has been banned in Denmark and discouraged in the EU. How does the healthiest box of flakes on the shelf get banned, while stuff like Reese's Puffs and Cinnamon Toast Crunch continue to enjoy free passage? Ironically, because of its supposed health benefits. In the UK, Special K has been put on blast by the Advertising Standards Authority for exaggerating how much folic acid they pack into portions. Though it's still legal to buy in Europe, Denmark has completely banned Special K since 2004 for all its fortified vitamins and minerals. Regulators argue that Kellogg's cereal's unnaturally high levels of everything from vitamin A to zinc actually qualify Special K as a genetically modified organism, or GMO. More specifically, Special K is swole with the same artificial compounds that studies have shown to potentially pose health risks, specifically to children and pregnant women. In conclusion, you may want to stick with Crunch Berries.
Oh, do snake. Don't you dare.
You don't need to take a transcontinental flight to visit countries that have banned American foods. Just drive up to the Canadian border, flash your passport, and sign an affidavit saying you're not smuggling any steak tartare in your trunk. Today, consuming raw meat has fallen out of fashion in the U.S., much like other foods like veal and pate, which don't make you sick but might make you sad. But while baby cow and overstuffed goose liver is illegal in parts of America now, tartar is not. See, while veal and pate may be uncool, they are also served hot. Unlike tartar, which is chopped up cold meat, straight from the cow. Undercooked or raw foods can lead to an increase in food poisoning and parasitic infections, especially in beef and poultry. But considering how fancy pants steak tartare is, Titanic food one might say, you'd think countries might look the other way and let the luxury delicacy slide. And for a long time they did. In Canada, meat has to reach an internal temperature of 145 degrees Fahrenheit, the equivalent of a medium rare steak, in order to be considered safe to serve. But those rules aren't strictly enforced. That is, until recently. In 2021, restaurant owners in New Brunswick selling steak tartare were all served cease and desist letters.
Damn.
Canadian public health officials had decided that amid the ongoing health crisis of COVID-19, the last thing their citizens needed was a side order of botulism.
Coca-Cola!
Yeah, that's the worst one I've ever had.
Is there anything more American
I knew
than
about this as a kid.
Coca-Cola?
Coca-Cola make
The
it worse.
fizz, the flavor, the former secret ingredient, cocaine. Coke is basically apple pie in beverage form. And it's not just Americans who are cuckoo for Coke. Invented by a pharmacist in 1886 Georgia, Coca-Cola quickly caught on overseas. It was the World War II GI's drink of choice. Pre-pandemic, Coca-Cola had 500 brands in over 200 countries, making it the best-selling soft drink and one of the most recognizable brands of all time. But there will always be exceptions, and unlike the other entries on the list, for once it has nothing to do with health concerns. Everybody knows that Coke is not good for you. We just decided collectively that we don't care. No, the countries that have outlawed the brand have done so because of what it represents, a symbol of the encroachment of American capitalism. From 1962 to 2011, the U.S. banned sales of Coke to Burma as part of sanctions against the military junta that ruled the country until 2011. It resumed sales in the country in 2012. Today, Coca-Cola is only unavailable in 2 countries with long-term trade embargoes with the U.S. North Korea hasn't allowed Coke since 1950, and the bubbly beverage has been banned in Cuba since Fidel Castro seized supplies in 1962. First the prequels, now Coke. Is there anything that can't be ruined by the federalization of trade taxation? In a twist of irony and lime, Cuba was actually one of the first bottlers of the beverage outside of America. Today, Cuba Cola has replaced Coke as the country's soft drink of choice, though black market sales abound. After all, it is the birthplace of the Cuba Libre, aka the rum and Coke.
I never
You
knew
know what?
that.
Coke. I've seen videos on Coke. I knew Coke was bad. I'll stop drinking Coke. Well, we don't even drink soda now, but when I was drinking soda, I stopped drinking Coke early. I've seen people put Coke on battery on
seen those.
batteries. They put it on cleaning like metal.
People drink alcohol.
When
Don't come for Coke.
when I seen-
when you drink alcohol like a sailor, you can't come for Coke. Just saying.
This ain't no comparing apples to oranges. I don't drink, so he ain't coming for me. So.
I'm just saying that when people say that, it's like,
Yeah,
but you.
but
can
I
drink
did.
alcohol.
That's what turned me off about it. When I seen that, I was like,
I
"That's
seen it
going in
when
your
they,
body, like just like
They put
killing."
like a penny in it.
Yeah, it's like.
And I guess I think it's like, oh no, it cleans rust. So like if you have rust or something, they're like pour Coke on it or
Yeah.
let it sit
Oh,
or
no,
something
I'm
like
cool.
that, or let it sit in the bottle. I don't
That's
know.
when I
but-
stopped. I'm like, I ain't even gonna put that in my body.
The diet.
M&M's, the delicious melt-in-your-mouth,
It's a
not-in-your-hand
diet.
snacks, were originally a collaboration between the Scion sons of the Mars and Hershey
Oh,
dynasties
Mars
in
again.
1941. Like Coca-Cola, M&M's gained international fans during World War II, as American soldiers popularized the candy overseas as the chocolate that won't get your trigger finger all sticky. But you won't find the candy in Sweden, where it's banned due to a trademark conflict with a popular national candy that also features lowercase m's as its signature. When Mars introduced the candy to Sweden in 2009, a court ruled its marketing too similar to that of the Norwegian Marabous, which resemble Kit Kats. During World War I, Marabou had moved its manufacturing to its Swedish neighbors, where it received a royal warrant of appointment by the King of Sweden. And here we thought the Swiss were the chocolate snobs. Should you want to check out what the fuss is all about, Marabou's is sold in IKEA stores here in the U.S.
What?
Well, at least it's good to know that M&M's don't contain any harmful dyes or chlorine residue, right? That's a pretty important victory for hard-shelled chocolate.
I thought that's what I honestly thought that's what it was gonna be, is the dye, because if it's from Mars, and that's how they do Skittles.
They said they can't have two of their products banned out here in the streets. They said one of them got to survive long term.
Wow. But if I'm being honest, I feel like M&M's always have that dye taste. They always have that dye taste. So
Like I
it's
said,
like you
I
gotta
could
hurry
do
up
the
and chew
peanut
it.
ones you said, but I never was a fan of just the milk chocolate ones. I never got
That's
caught onto it.
crazy.
It's just the crunchy and then the chocolate just never mixed with me. But some of these were crazy. Like I knew about kind of like chicken. I heard about our chicken ones before. Pork I've always known about.
I know about pork.
But some of these like bread and all that. But
Bread?
now I think bread is getting worse. I just seen a video on somebody like said like they was doing on TikTok about bread. I think it's even worse now.
Back then, bread used to mold. It don't mold no more.
Wow, I can sit on your shelf for a
It can
minute.
sit on there and still be. It
I
might
remember
get a
my
little
mom did.
hard, but it's still.
I remember
fine.
my mom getting mad because it molded. Like,
Yeah,
saying,
she'd be like, "You gotta eat this bread. Now we gotta go buy more." Like, okay.
Now it'd be on the counter for a minute.
Yeah, I want to learn how to do it though. I want to do bread. That'll be fun, but I don't know. I just feel like that's scary. That's crazy.
But thank y'all for another eye opener video. Let us know down in the
This one
comments
wasn't
below.
too bad.
No, it wasn't too
I'm
bad.
not upset. I'm a look because I kind of figured.
Concerned,
a little bit.
whatever.
Yeah, just a little concerned, but
Let us know down in the comment section what y'all want us to react to next. Let us know your opinion on it. Also, some of y'all send us links to our socials. That's fine too, for us to react to. Whichever way, however y'all want to do it. Don't bother us. But see y'all on the next one.